Hello and welcome to Module 1 of Cassava Farming. In this module, we should be looking at Introduction to Cassava Farming, the beginner's level, which is the white gold of Nigerian agriculture. Cassava is not just a crop, it is a lifeline, an industry, and legacy. The module content that we should be looking at in this module include meaning, importance, and uses of cassava. We'll also look at the history and economic value of cassava in Nigeria. We'll look at variety of cassava and their characteristics. We'll further look at suitable climate, soil, and ecological requirements for cassava. We'll further look at overview of cassava value chain before we now draw our conclusion. Let us begin with the introduction. Why cassava matters. The objective here is that understand why cassava is the backbone of Nigerian agriculture and agribusiness. What is cassava? Cassava is a tropical root crop that is Manihot esculenta, that is the botanical name, known as the white gold of Nigeria. It is a survival crop that thrives in poor soil and survived drought. Why study cassava farming? We study cassava farming because it provides food, employment, and raw material for industry. It is also a profitable agribusiness opportunity with growing demand. It is also essential for food security and wealth creation. By the end of this module, you will understand cassava's meaning, importance, varieties, growing requirement, and value chain opportunity. Let us look at the meaning of cassava, that is the botanical overview. The scientific name of cassava is Manihot esculenta. The key botanical feature is that the family is Euphorbia, that is such family. The plant type, it is perennial woody shrubs. Then it is propagated by stem cutting, not seed. Then growing period is usually between 6 to 18 months. Then edible part, it is very large and starchy rich storage root. Then leaves is palm made, that is handy shape. Then the resilience is that it can survive in drought tolerant, grow where other crops fail. The important note here is that cassava contains natural cyanide compound and must be properly processed before consumption. Having known that, let us look at the importance of cassava and why it matters. The 5 pillars of cassava imports here is that 1. Food security. Farming reserves and it stays in ground up to 24 months without spoiling. Then source of income, it provides steady daily income for millions of smallholder farmers. Then industrial relevance is that it serves as a raw material for food, textile, pharmaceutical, and biofuel. Then adaptability is that it grows in a poor soil, survives erratic rainfall. Then economic consideration is that it reduces dependence on imported wheat and starch. Then the key statistics is that cassava provides livelihood for over 30 million small holders farmers in Nigeria. Having known that, let us look at the uses of cassava from root to leaf. Cassava is very important. The main 3 category uses of cassava include 1. Food uses. It is good for human consumption such as garri, fufu, cassava flour, abacha, tapioca, boiled or roasted cassava. The industrial uses, it can serve as a raw material for many industries like HQCF used for bread, starch, pepper and textile. Then it can be used in the processing of ethanol and sweeteners. Then agricultural uses, cassava can be used for animal feed like peel it. When you peel it, it can be used as animal feed such as pig and poultry. Then the leaves can be used for silage for goat and cattle. Then every part of plant has economic value. Then the root part of cassava serve as food and industrial use. Then the leaves can be used for animal. Then when it is peeled, it can be used as livestock feed when processed. Having known that, let us look at the historical evolution of cassava in Nigeria. That is a journey from foreign plant to national treasure. Then the period, the history of cassava could be traced to 16th century when cassava was introduced to West Africa by the Portuguese traders from Brazil. Then initial reception, it grown as a farming reserve, locally suspicious of cyanids. Then in 19th century, it was liberated slaves, that is Agoda from Brazil, that introduced cassava into advanced processing. That is when Gare was born. Then rapid expansion, it spread across southern and the middle belt regions of Nigeria. Then this modern era, it has improved varieties, government support, and global leadership. Key turning point here is that the invention of garri processing made cassava safe, delicious, and widely acceptable in Nigeria. Having known that, let us now look at the economic value of cassava in Nigeria. That is in Nigeria, it is the world's largest cassava producer. So Nigeria is the world's largest cassava producer in the world. The economic indicator, the group rank uh, 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 one producer worldwide. So Nigeria is the major producer of cassava worldwide. Then annual production ranges 60 plus million metric tons. Then the global market share, it contributes to 20% of world production. Then farmers supported 30 million plus smallholders, farmers reside in Nigeria. Then contribute to gross domestic product. It is a major driver of agricultural sector, which ranges between 20 to 25% of gross domestic product. Then additional economic value, import substitution, 10% of HQCF in bread saves millions, billions in wheat import costs. Then export potentials, it growing market for chips and ethanol in China and Europe. Then gender empowerment, women dominate processing and marketing, such as garri and fufu. Then youth involvement, mechanization attracts young entrepreneurs. Now let us look at variety of cassava, the local versus improved variety of cassava. There are two main categories of cassava. One, we look at it by their features. We have local variety and improved variety, that is hybrid variety. Then for the local varieties, the maturity period is between 12 to 24 months. Then the hybrid variety, the maturity period is between 8 to 12 months. Then the local variety yield 10 to 15 tons per acre, whereas the improved variety yield 25 to 40 tons per hectare. Then the local variety is best used for garri, fufu, and home use. Then the improved variety is best used for starch, ethanol, and industrial processing. Then the local variety storage in soil stays over 2 years, whereas the improved varieties are harvested at the maturity period. Then disease resistant, the local variety is very variable. Then the hybrid variety is high. The risk is very high, bred for resistance. The key insight is that improved varieties from IITA and NRCIR are designed for commercial success. As you can see on the picture, these are the local versus improved varieties of cassava. Now, let us look at the major improved varieties. That's the industrial standard. We have TME 419. That is the industrial standard, which is best for HQCF, starch, and garri. It yield 25 to 35 tons per acre. Then the key trait is that it is very high starch, resistant to cassava mosaic diseases, and straight growth, easy to weed. Then TMS, another variety, which is the popular choice, is best for garri and fufu. It yields 20 to 30 tons per hectare. Then the key trait is that early breaching creates canopy, that is suppresses weed, hardy, and adapt to many soil. Then we have provitamin A, that is the yellow cassava, which is best for health conscious market. The key trait is that it contains beta carotene, that is vitamin A, and fight hidden hungers. Then we have the last one, which is TM98 0505 and 980581, which is best for commercial processing. The key trait is that it is very high dry matter content, extremely pest resistant. So these are varieties of improved or hybrid varieties of cassava. Now let us look at the sweet versus bitter cassava. That is the cyanide rule. Classification based on cyanide content. We have the sweet cassava, which is the cyanide level is very low, and processing requirement can be eaten, boiled. Then common use is direct consumption, common in the north. Then we have bitter cassava, which is the cyanide level is very high and must be fermented, dried, and it is for commercial uses. Then why beta cassava is preferred for commercial farming is that it contain high cyanide acts as natural defense against animal. Most improved variety are beta types. Then processing fermentation will remove toxins completely. Then how to select good plant stem. Five critical characteristics is that one, high dry matter content. You will also look at early maturity, which is between 10 to 12 months. Then disease resistance is also a criteria when selecting a good plant stem. Then pest tolerance is also a criteria. Then finally, market demand for target produce. Now let us look at the overview of cassava value chain. What is a value chain? Value chain is a sequence of activity that add value to a product at a stage. Now we have 5 stages of cassava value chain. The number 1 stage is input supply, which is the input stage, which activities here involve stem, that is the implanting of stem, fertilizer, and the tool. The actor involved are input suppliers and extension agent. Now we have production stage. The activities involve land preparation, planting, then weeding and harvesting. The actors involved are farmers and farm laborers. Then we have the processing stage, which is turning root into garri or flour, as well as starch. Then the actors involved are processors, such as small and large-scale industry. Now we have the distribution stage, which involves transportation, storage, and packaging. The actors involved are transporters, warehouse operators. Now we have the marketing stage, which involves selling it locally or internationally. The actors involved include traders, retailers, and exporters. The value addition at each stage include production, involve raw root, then processing will yield garri flour, starch, and high value. Then packaging involve improves shelf life. Then marketing increase visibility and demand. Now let us look at opportunities and challenges in the value chain. Now, income generating opportunity include farming. The description include root production for sales and processing. Then the opportunity include another opportunities in processing, which involve converting root into garri flour and starch. We have equipment supply, which involves selling processing machine tools to farmers. We have transportation and logistics, which involve moving product along the chain. Then we have trading and export, which involve local and international marketers. Now we have challenges to address. Number 1 challenge is poor access to quality input. The impact is that it yields low production. Then we have limited processing facility. The impact is that post-harvest losses. We have poor transportation infrastructure, which is result to high spoilage rate of cassava. We have market price fluctuation, which impact is unpredictable income. Now the pro tips here is that participating in multi-stage of the value chain, that is farming plus processing, maximize profit margins. In conclusion, your foundation in cassava farming, you have now established a solid foundation for understanding cassava as a strategic crop. What you have learned in this module include meaning and botanical nature of cassava, that is a resilient starchy root crop, importance for food security, income, industry and economic contribution, diverse uses from garri and fufu to industrial starch and animal feed. Then the history from Brazilian introduction to Nigeria and global leadership. The economic value, which is world largest producer, 30 million plus farmers. You have also learned varieties, that is local versus improved, that is the TME 419, TMS 30572, and Provitamin A. You have also learned the growing requirement, the climatic soil, ecological condition. You also learned the value chain, the 5 stages for input, supply to marketing. The key takeaway here is that cassava is no longer just a subsistent crop for the poor. It is a multi-purpose industrial raw material that powers both the kitchen and the factory. Thank you and have a nice day.